Hey guys, it's Matt, and today I want to share with you my new 20-minute morning workout routine. It's something I've been working on over the past couple weeks. Excited to share it with you. Let's get into it. So in the past, I've had a dedicated gym regimen, most of the time going 5 days a week. But since lockdown, I've done my best to try to adapt that to an at-home routine. I've stuck with strength training exercises that replicate some of the exact exercises I do with my typical weight training. I did experiment with a lot of the Instagram workout routine videos, and they did have me build up a sweat, but they weren't really my style.
And one, and two, and one, and two, and lift your leg and other leg, and don't put them down, but stand up, let's stand up.
So I primarily tried to focus on the things that I really enjoy out of a workout. I did get some gear to get me started, including a yoga mat, a foam roller, and 2 resistance bands. You can probably get by with just one moderate band, which in this case is the blue one, but I got 2 because I wasn't really sure what the resistance would be. The only other piece of gear that I might add to this list is a pull-up bar, though I think my current setup will for sure get me through the next couple of months. As always, I include all the links to everything I mentioned in this video in the description. So first, let's talk about motivation. This is probably one of the biggest things you're going to struggle with as you start to adapt to an at-home workout routine. I know that's definitely true of myself. I found that one big change I've made is to prioritize my workouts in the morning. So 7 a.m., 8 a.m., that's when I'm doing these workouts before I come up with all these excuses later on in the day before I'm too tired to want to even pull out that yoga mat and start my workout. The second thing, which I've already mentioned on this channel a few times before, is following the 2-day rule. This is especially important now that I'm working out from home because I just don't feel as inspired lately. And so I will come up with more excuses and I will push off my workouts. But following the 2-day rule, I allow myself to skip 1 day. I don't allow myself to skip 2 days. So this just allows me to continue to build that momentum with each workout. And worst case scenario, I'm working out every other day, which is actually still pretty good. This video is sponsored by my friends at Audible. At the end of the video, I'm going to share with you an audiobook that's really helped bring a lot of perspective when it comes to motivation. So stick around at the end to check that out. All right, so I split these workouts into 3 different days. On day 1, I work out biceps, back, and shoulders. On day 2, I work out triceps and chest. And on day 3, I work out legs. So let's get started with day 1. All right, so the first muscle we're gonna work today is the most important muscle in the human body, the bicep. And we're gonna use the bicep curls to start. So putting 1 or 2 feet on the resistance band, keeping your elbows tucked in. We're gonna bring these resistance bands up. So we'll probably just knock out like 300 or 400 of these and we'll be good. The key to all strength training is pushing yourself to failure. With a resistance band, this can be a little bit tricky, but there are a few different ways to get there. You can use a thicker band, shorter slack on the band, you can double the bands up, or you can just do much slower reps. Truthfully, I don't worry too much about the exact number of reps that I get in. I'm more concerned with trying to reach failure. All right, I'm done. All right. I typically do 3 to 4 sets per exercise depending on how I'm feeling. Now, my rest time in between sets and exercises is typically 1 to 2 minutes. I go by my own personal feeling. If you need more discipline, you might want to go with a more calculated approach. All right, so the next exercise targets all 3 muscles for the day. It's gonna be your biceps, your shoulders, as well as your back. It looks weird, you're gonna laugh at me, but it actually works really well. Let's call these the floppies. So basically you hold the band just like this in front of your chest, and you stretch it all the way back and activate your back. Just as important as bringing yourself to the point of failure is doing slow, controlled reps. This will make sure that you get the most out of your workout without injuring yourself. And next up, we're gonna do some standing shoulder flies. So again, putting 1 foot or 2 feet on the band. I actually find that even the moderate resistance is a bit too much for me to get good form on these shoulder flies. So sometimes I even bend my legs just a little bit so the resistance isn't too much. And bringing them all the way up. Woo. You can also swing your hands forward and up to target a different part of your shoulder. So the next workout is reverse bicep curls. And these are basically the same thing as your typical bicep curls, but you wanna switch your wrists around to the other side. And again, slow and steady reps. 1,000. All right, so normally after my reverse bicep curls, I finish up the workout with some crunches. So let's do those. All right, so this is the new foam roller that I got. I typically rely on the ones at the gym, but as you know, can't go there. This is actually better than any one that I've used at the gym before. It is really, really firm. This thing really is super painful to use. So it's not for the faint of heart, but I definitely recommend it for those people who have a lot of tension and tightness in their backs and need to get those knots busted out. This has been a fantastic tool. All right, let's get to day 2. Today we're working out triceps and chest, and for me, that always begins with push-ups. I usually do 4 to 6 sets of push-ups, varying the width of my arms to target my chest, both my chest and my triceps, or just my triceps. All right, so I think the the 2 things that people get wrong when they do push-ups is, 1, they don't fully extend their arms. They kind of half-cock their arms. And 2 is they don't have great posture with their back. Either their butt is really in the sky or it's concave and dipping towards the ground. The idea is to have a really straight back when you're doing push-ups. After that, I do dips on my bench here. Slow, controlled reps to failure. 3 sets, and we're done. All right, so we're gonna do another tricep workout here. This one is very similar, targets very similar muscle group and a similar workout, but using the resistance band, I find that it's a different kind of tension and a different kind of difficulty. So it's a little bit silly, but you wanna put the resistance bands underneath your ankles, letting your ankles hold them down, coming back behind, and then pulling up. Trying to keep the elbows in. You don't want the elbows to go out, you want the elbows to stay in nice and tight. And get as many reps as you can. If you guys can't tell already, I'm filming all of these workouts in one day, so that's why I'm fucking exhausted. Whew. And the last exercise I do is a reverse tricep curl. I hold the resistance band against my couch and yank back on the band with my other hand. This isolates a part of the tricep that doesn't get as much of a workout with those past 2 exercises. As always, I finish up with some crunches, phone rolling, wincing in agony, and we're off to day 3. Day 3 is for legs. I start off with 3 sets of lunges, and I take these reps to failure, getting my knee as close to the yoga mat as possible without touching it. Sometimes I touch it. Then I do 1 leg deadlifts to target my hamstring. Again, around 3 sets to failure. You can increase the difficulty here by holding a weight in your hand. I don't have any weights, so I just try to focus on slowing down my reps and going to failure. And after that, I finish up by hammering out a bunch of squats to failure. So when it comes to leg day, it's a little bit more free form for me than the other days where the regimen is a little bit tighter. I basically just do as many of these squats and 1-legged deadlifts as I can, pushing myself to failure, pushing myself to the point where I'm just exhausted, tired, and don't want to do it anymore. And that's usually when I call it quits. I finish up day 3 with a bunch of crunches, foam rolling, and writhing in agony. If you're somebody who struggles with motivation and self-discipline, I highly recommend listening to a great audiobook by David Goggins called Can't Hurt Me, Master Your Mind and Defy the Odds. His story of transformation is unreal. The audiobook details his story from poverty, depression, and poor health into an elite Navy SEAL and ultra-endurance athlete. It's absolutely inspiring. As a very slow reader, Audible allows me to read tons of audiobooks each year. Listen to audiobooks while you're at home, or while you're at home, or maybe while you're at home. Start listening with a 30-day Audible trial. Choose 1 audiobook and 2 Audible originals absolutely free. Visit audible.com/Matt D'Avella or text Matt D'Avella to 500-500. The links are in the description below. All right, guys, that does it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you got some tips that'll help you build your own workout routine from home. Good luck, and I'll see you next week. All right, bye.
Get down on the floor right now. If I'm not seeing you down on the floor, you're a failure. Your mother hates you, your father hates you, and your wife, she wants to break up with you.